for you? Like, it's been a hot moment since we've got an album from you. How are you feeling about everything? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
Oh, I'm anxious to get it out because I've had to be quite patient. With COVID slowed it down quite a bit because I couldn't get in the room live with anyone, and or one or two people, but that was it. So it took 2 years of a lot of songwriting. So I wrote a ton of songs. The frame of mind that the world was in and the weight of concern and all of the mystery and unanswered questions. Are we going to be okay? Are we ever going to come out of this? It was weighing on me as well. And I was turning to songwriting to cheer me up, to get myself in a different frame of mind, to reset my train of thought and get myself chirped up. So it was like my cheer up writing sessions ended up being this album, Queen of Me. Self-help cheer up sessions. So the album is very, I would say, a more free-spirited album than maybe I've made in a very long time, because maybe the most free-spirited album I've ever written.
You can feel it and hear it in the entire album. Like, and I know everyone hopefully has heard your single Giddy Up, which is the lead track off of it. Like, I start my day every day with it because you can't not smile after it. So I just I know the answer is probably no, but when it's just because the chorus at the pace that you sing it, and it's like a tongue twister, the giddy up, up, and
Yes.
you got it wrong, right? Like, did you get that on the first take?
Okay, so I'm just going to explain how that came about, first of all. So no, that part I got perfectly fine, because I had been rolling the, put some up and you giddy up, up and you giddy up. That was easy because I'd been rolling that around in my head for weeks. Okay. So when I get into the studio with the producer and a couple of other writers, I'm trying to explain the concept behind the songs. The concept is, cheer up, put some pep back in your step, put some spice back in your life, which is, what I was trying to do in writing the album. And I said, I've got this creative way of saying it, put some up in your giddy up. And they looked at me so perplexed. They're like, they didn't get it. They're like, okay, what? That is a tongue twister. So anyway, so we had a lot of laughs and fun putting it together, but I said, no, you'll get it. We just have to, it's going to write itself. We just have to start getting into the whole concept of, whatever we got to do to cheer up. So, because up in your giddy, yeah, they were definitely like, what does that mean exactly?
Oh, it is the best, honestly, like the smiles for miles. I honestly, my every time I hear it. But this whole album, I think each song takes people on a journey. And for me, I love The Hardest Stone. When you start from the intro, your piano, your vocals echoing, and then the line, the hardest stone to turn is your heart. Honestly, Shania, I thought that was like a long old time saying. And then I look it up. That's just a damn good lyric that you did. Take me into this song.
I'm a big fan of Tyler Joseph from 21 Pilots, and he is such an incredible songwriter and vocalist himself and performer. But he's a great producer as well. He's very involved in his own production. So I said, I really would love to see you produce another artist. Would you ever consider producing something for me? So he said, well, if you have any songs you want me to hear, send them over. So I sent him that song. He loved it. I don't know if he remembers, but he said, I think it might be the best song I've ever heard written. And he said, did you really are you saying the hardest stone to turn is the heart? He had to repeat it. He loved it as well. I said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there's a lot of layers to that phrase, but the idea is really about it's a very positive message. It's about letting go. It's about realizing that you can't change the heart of someone else. You have to let go of that. You have to realize that. And sometimes it takes a few times around, but eventually you got to get it. You got to get it into your head that the hardest stone to turn is the heart. And I wrote that song quite quickly, actually. It came fairly quickly, that one. When I learn the hardest stone to turn is the heart.
You mentioned how many songs you're writing for this album, and I can see the lovely album behind you, but I believe I know looks great, but it's the first time I think we've seen a parental advisory sticker on an album from you. Like, how are we feeling about this? I'm pumped. Like, let's effing go, girls.
Oh my gosh. Well, I figure, so many of the kids and I apologize to the parents who have little kids that they don't want to hear a curse, and I get that completely, which is why I put the sticker on there. But I'd rather people not be surprised by that and know in advance. But so many of my child fans from 30, 20 years ago have grown up, and they've grown up with me. And we're in this reunion phase even with my own son, I mean, I just feel like there's less of a guard there. I don't have to pretend that to be something I'm not. I mean, when he was little, I'm like, I gotta give up swearing completely now for the rest of my life, is what I thought. And I grew up, it was just part of how I grew up. I mean, everybody swore around me. It was just we use a lot of adjectives where I come from that are curse words. And so anyway, so that phrase came out the way it did in a very conversational way. It was the way I would say it. And I thought, well, just be true to yourself. You either have to change the lyric completely, like a whole other thing, or you got to say it like you would say it, sing it like you would say it. And I decided to sing it like I would say it. Just like I would say, man, I feel like a woman, or that don't impress me much, or those little things that just roll off the tongue the way they are felt.